Alright, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about what to expect when you first start selling on Amazon. Okay, so obviously you're watching YouTube videos and getting ideas and you're trying to learn about the Amazon experience. So when you go to Amazon Seller Central and you want to open up your account, there's two options. You have the option to pay the Pro account, which is $39.99 every month just for the ability to sell on Amazon. And then the other option, I actually forget what it's called, but they charge you $1 for every item you sell. Now I strongly recommend the Pro account because if you sell like 40 items in a month, which isn't hard to do, then you've already paid for it. So that's why I even forget what the other one's called, because to me it was never even an option to even go that route. So once you sign up and you come up with your own business name, I recommend sooner than later getting your business license, your resale license, creating an LLC. You don't have to start off with. I was selling on Amazon for, I want to say 6 to 9 months. I don't remember exactly what it was before I did all of that, but I recommend it because then you can start looking into wholesale. And you can start looking to get ungated and products using wholesale and authorized distributors and things like that. Because when you want to get ungated, a receipt from Target's just not going to cut it. So I recommend doing that sooner than later. In California, I think it cost me like between $200 and $300 to do all of that. So anyway, so now you're signed up, and when I started, I had no clue what sales rank was. I didn't know what any of that meant. So I was like, sweet, I want to go start selling stuff. So the first place I went to was Target because I just needed to go buy some stuff at Target. And I just went to clearance section because that's what everybody preaches on YouTube is clearance, clearance, clearance. So I bought some fig pens, which is like a little pen about yay big, for it was Mass Effect Andromeda, which is a video game that just wasn't really highly received. But okay, people like Mass Effect, so I bought those, and I'm trying to remember what else I bought. I think I bought some Mega Man toys, and I had bought a fondue fountain. Okay, so I was like, sweet, I'll take this home and I'll sell that. I had a bunch of video game collector's editions. I had like 30, 40 of them. And, I wanted to get capital because, I'm a single dad with my 2 boys and I just needed capital. So they were all brand new. I didn't open them and I sent them into Amazon. And in retrospect, that's kind of a little risky. You want to have receipts for everything you buy because you don't know if the rights owner, the IP holder of whatever it is, will file a claim or not. And I'll do a video later. I need to compile a list of companies that you need to look out for that are notorious for filing IP claims because you can get suspended. So you want to have a receipt that dates back 12 months. If it's 12 months in a day, you don't send it in, sell it on eBay, sell it on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, whatever. You don't want to send it in because that won't get you out of trouble if someone causes trouble for you. Okay, so I sent those in, and the video game sold really fast. The fondue fountain sold really fast. I think I talked about that in a previous video. And the fig pens didn't sell. It took a long time, and I think I took a loss on most of them. Luckily, they were like $3 items, but the sales rank was terrible on them. I didn't know what sales rank was at the time. No one really talks about sales rank too much. So I also went to Walmart and I hit up their clearance stuff. Like I bought a bunch of Call of Duty sweatshirts that came with a hoodie. None of them ever sold. Again, I didn't know what sales rank was. And they never sold, and I ended up taking them out, and I ended up just donating them because I couldn't even get rid of them. So I think I bought like 7 or 8 of them. I ended up losing like $80-90 on that because I didn't know sales rank. So before you start going to the stores, you need to learn about sales rank. You need to study sales rank. I think is it Jungle Scout go to junglescout.com or just type in the Google search field about Amazon sales rank estimator, and it'll pop up, and just play with the numbers to see how many. It's approximate. It's not a guarantee that if a sales rank's 100,000 that you'll sell like 100 units. It is an estimator. It's approximate, but I've found it to be fairly accurate. So type that in and play around with it and see what about the numbers are. Because I lost hundreds of dollars in the very beginning because there's other items I just can't remember that didn't sell because I didn't understand sales rank. So once you get home, I didn't have any of the additional programs. Like now I use Be Cool as a repricer, inventory lab to track my inventory. I just did everything on Amazon Seller Central. And I might do a video this week about how to upload inventory into Amazon Seller Central. I don't use it because I use inventory, so I might be a little rusty. So you input the UPC numbers and it'll pop up the item. You say how many you've got and you fill it out. And Amazon will tell you, okay, you're going to send 4 of this item. So for example, I bought 2 of these yesterday. It might tell me it's going to send 1 to one warehouse and 1 to another warehouse. It happens. Like me, I ship out, my normal shipments are 200 to 300 items that I ship out twice a week. And usually I'll have about 10 different shipments to ship out. Because they, like toys, for example, this one I needed an Amazon barcode. So Amazon barcode doesn't go with items that don't take an Amazon barcode. Like, do I have anything here? Everything I have, actually I take that back. This doesn't take an Amazon barcode. So like this, didn't request one. So this will never ship with this. So you might have 2 shipments going to the same warehouse. I usually do. So most of my stuff goes to either Jersey or Rialto, California. It stays here. Shoes either go to Phoenix, Indianapolis, or I think Maryland. I forget where the third one is. All your shoes will go to those 3 warehouses. Only twice have I ever seen shoes mixed in with, grocery, toys, beauty, whatever. So your shoes will always go somewhere separate than your other inventory. Once you get ungated and say like Mega Bloks, Nerf, Lego, those get sent somewhere else. Actually, those guitars I showed you, those get shipped somewhere different than the rest of my product. Like this Minnie Mouse one, this is a hangover. I bought 17 of them. 15 went in one shipment all by itself. So that's something to expect. 2 is you'll have multiple shipments. So what you can do is, again, like I bought 2 of these, and Amazon sometimes for some reason will say, okay, I just want you to ship 1 to this warehouse, and the other one will go with all your other stuff. So you can adjust your inventory, and you can say, I want to ship, if you have 2 of the same item, you can say, well, I want to ship 2 here, and I'm just going to delete this other one, and you're good. So that's something else you can do. So once you ship it out, or actually, let me backtrack a second. So you have a choice. You can either print the labels up yourself, or Amazon will do the prep for you. I did that at the beginning, and they charge so much money, it takes away all your profit. I recommend buying a Dymo label maker. So I have 2. I just bought my second one this past month to save time. Let me unplug it here. So I strongly recommend when you start to buy one of these. It's the Dymo 4XL, because you can have your big shipping labels, which you really have to have. I mean, unless you want to just buy printer paper and do that way, because that's what I did in the beginning. And again, printer paper is very expensive and it eats up your profits. So I strongly recommend having one of these. and it's a great product, and it prints fast enough and does everything you need it to do. So you also need poly bags, because if you have any liquids, any clothes, if you have plush toys, they have to go in poly bags. They also have to have the suffocation warning label on it as well, because you don't want to be held liable, and Amazon definitely doesn't want to be held liable for people not paying attention to their kids and putting a bag over their head. So it has to have the suffocation label. I want to say Amazon charges $0.25 for each label it prints up, and they charge 40 cents to bag something. That sounds about what I was paying, and that was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So it could have even gone up. So I strongly recommend make sure you have poly bags and make sure you have a Dymo label, or else Amazon's just going to charge you like crazy. So then you list everything, you did all your prep work and all that good stuff. You box it up, you get it ready to ship out. Right now, unless you have your own account, business account with like FedEx, USPS, or something like that, the only option you have through Amazon is UPS. It used to be both UPS and FedEx, but they just stopped doing business with FedEx. I'm sure you've known, it's been all over the news. So, and it's kind of a bummer. FedEx was about $2 cheaper per shipment than UPS. But I have found that UPS is a day faster dropping off stuff. So like for example, I'm 2 hours roughly away from Rialto. So I would drop off my stuff at FedEx and it would take them 2 days to get it there. UPS is next day they're getting stuff to Rialto. So it's worth the $2 really to save that day, because you have to get your inventory churning. That's the whole key, is to get fast selling products, get it sold, and get it back to you. Okay, so once you get your product, it gets delivered, everything's good. So you can expect 2 or 3 days sometimes for your product to get checked in. Once you get closer to Christmas, I've seen it take like 10 days for them to check in and receive your inventory. So once they receive it, where you're going to send most of your stuff, like I keep talking about Rialto. So like my last shipment I sent out Friday, I had one shipment that was 175 items, and the other one was 80-ish items. So Rialto, I call it a redistribution center. So you send your stuff there, they have you send almost, say like 2/3 of your inventory to Rialto for me. And then they distribute it everywhere else. So technically your product is available for sale, but Amazon's moving it around, so they'll call it on back order. So your product won't be available to ship. And I've seen it take as much as 2 weeks for an item to get to its final destination, which sucks because it really slows down your that's what I'm looking for, your turnaround time. But at the same time, they're doing it so they can meet their customer needs, because Amazon is very much customer focused, which is why Amazon's getting this so big, is because people trust Amazon. So your product sometimes will take up to 2 more weeks, and sometimes it's like 2 or 3 days. It's really just luck. And you'll never know where your inventory is. I have no clue where any of my inventory is because Amazon shifts stuff around. And I don't really care where it is, because I know Amazon, they're all about logistics. That's their real, what they're really good at. Is I know they're putting it in a really good spot for it to meet customer needs. And it's based off probably an algorithm they have, because you'll have 30 sellers on some items, so they'll have it wherever the other 29 people don't have their stuff. So that's another thing to expect. Okay, so now say your stuff said its final destination and you sold something, like I sold the Rockstar today, and you're like, okay, now cool, I'm gonna get money. So how Amazon works is, say you sell this today, it gets delivered in 2 days. Amazon will not make your funds available for 10 days after delivery, because if it gets returned, if it's damaged, whatever could possibly go wrong with that, UPS loses it or something like that. Amazon, isn't going to pay you and then have you just clear out your account, so they hold it for 10 days after delivery, so that way they're not footing the bill for your product, which makes sense. It's a bummer, again, because you want to get your money as fast as possible. So I always say, like, your first month, you're not going to see a dime back to you for about a month. Go clean your room, guys.
We're already done.
You're done? I'll check it in a few minutes, okay? Thank you. Sorry, my kids just got done cleaning their room. So you won't see probably any money back for about a month after your initial shipment. But like I said in my other video, you need a routine, you need to be consistent, you need to ship once, twice a week, or that way you always have money. Like for me, I did $28,000 last month in sales. So I always have, I call it a kitty, my funds due to me from Amazon is always $4,000 to $6,000, depending upon how my sales are. And I take money out twice a week. But my pot that Amazon owes me always fluctuates between $4,000 and $6,000, and it takes a while to build there. You're not going to get there overnight, So that's what to expect from Amazon. Is your stuff's not going to be available usually the day it hits the warehouse. You're not going to see any money for about a month, but once you hit that month, and if you're consistently sourcing, you're consistently shipping, they're constantly receiving your stuff, you'll always have inventory, you'll always be making sales, and after that painful first month, you'll always have money going. You always will have money going. So that's what to expect your first, say, month in Amazon. I strongly recommend getting the label maker before you start, and I always recommend you need to get the poly bags. Those are mandatory. I go through like 600-700 poly bags a month, and Amazon's so counterfeit conscious. They're adding more and more categories with the labels. Like 99% of toys take labels, all grocery takes labels, all beauty takes labels, all pet food takes labels, all baby stuff, did I say baby stuff? Takes labels. So there's just so much that takes labels. And they do that. Every seller barcode label has, I think they call it an MSQ, and that's your identifier. So it attaches to your seller account and to the ASIN, the Amazon item number. And they do that because if I send in a counterfeit of this toy, they know who it comes up with, or who did it. So that way your inventory is not mixed up with other people. So that's what to expect your first month on Amazon. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave comments down below. I get back to you really quick. I'm thinking about creating like a Facebook group for followers of the channel. Anybody that wants to have like Amazon discussions, that has questions with me. So I'm hoping to have that done like by the end of the week or something. So thanks for watching my video.